I'm Dave Seibert. Welcome to Spotlight, where we highlight leaders and executives in our industry.
Good afternoon. I'm Manuel Palachuk, and this is Jonathan Getch with US ProTech.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thanks for being here and talking with us. First, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Californian native, and I love to cook. I'm an avid collector of sports cars, and I love technology.
So, by the way, so the sports car is part of the poll why you're here for the event, or did you actually come for content?
Well, I came for content, of course. It's never a problem to see a sports car.
Right.
I do collect them, and I actually race them. But
nice.
More importantly, today, the one they have here is sort of an opportunity to get behind a wheel of something that can do about 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. So you're signed up for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Good. Cool. So tell me about your business. Tell me about US ProTech.
US ProTech is an 18-year-old company that is based in Nevada, but has offices here in California and operations around the country.
Fantastic.
It specializes in penetration testing from a cybersecurity standpoint. And from that, it developed into a company that would provide managed security services.
Okay, so how long has it been around doing pen testing? I mean, you were doing pen testing before pen testing is, right now it's the big thing, right?
So the first pen test that we performed for a multi-billion-dollar corporation would have been in 2001.
Wow, okay,
so we've been doing it a very long time.
Very nice. Okay, so you're steeped in this industry, and your vertical is penetration testing. What about your market? Who's your market?
Great question. It started off with private business, specifically in the areas of manufacturing, financial, medical, and higher education. But over the course of time and experience, you gain larger contracts with municipalities, governments, both domestically and internationally.
Oh, so you actually, so you've done penetration testing for companies outside the United States?
And have contracts currently with presidential administrations outside of the country.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of work. How big is this organization? I mean,
it's actually not that large in terms of numbers of full-time engineers. But what's more important is the size of the customers that we support, the type of infrastructure that we protect, and what's actually under management. For example, one customer is the second oldest business in the United States. And if I was to tell you that they manage somewhere around $2.7 trillion, that might be shocking to you. Mm. But the fact is there are much smaller companies that are dealing with tens and 20s and 50s of employees, but they have the same type of infrastructure, the same type of information that needs to be protected. Yeah. And law is what's driving the requirement for the same information in both size companies to be protected in the same fashion.
Yeah, there's the whole pestle, political, economic, social, all of these things that push on a company or organization from the outside that dictate how they do things. And what's interesting is that I think you probably agree, the smaller organizations don't get it, that they don't really realize. Today someone was talking about what happened at the Equifax, yeah. And it's surprising that an organization of that size didn't know what they didn't know and had no idea, they had no handle on this. Do you find that to be, is that as surprising to you that happened?
No, not really. Most entities truly believe that cybersecurity is something that they have under control. And what we've witnessed in the last dozen years is that none of them have it under control. Yeah. We can't look to a single event that's come out in the news and say, well, they went from not being in control to today knowing that they are in control. Right. I mean, how many people would say, oh, I know that I'm safe if I shop at a particular entity? Right. The greater problem is not that are they vulnerable? It's what makes them vulnerable. People think that buying a fancy product with a user interface is going to solve their problems. You can spend millions of dollars on applications that ultimately can identify that there's a problem happening, but if you don't have a response mechanism, an alerting, notification, response, and automated escalation process, so that when, let's say, an administrator is notified that there's a problem and they don't take action, that it automatically goes up the chain to the CEO. Right. I'll tell you, now you'll get people responding. Well, right. So that's one of the problems.
Tell me this, when the majority of your customers that come to your new contracts, new agreements, do they come out of people having had a failure and realizing they need to fix it, or are they people that are being proactive?
Interesting. Well, I think that a few companies come to the watering hole on their own.
Right.
And we have this federal government who actually knows how to write laws and mandates that push, people to the watering.
And the responsible ones show up. But a
Absolutely.
pretty good number of them come after they've, with hat in hand, like we need to fix what we figure out.
Yeah, but not all. There's a lot of very responsible companies in the country
Yeah.
that honestly take it seriously. And even if they're not in the position to actually say or demonstrate that they have expertise in the area of cybersecurity, they are certainly willing to go under an assessment, look at corrective action plans, and understand that they have to start taking steps to make themselves better if they intend to be in business tomorrow. Because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, well, to me, that's a business maturity. A more mature organization knows they need to go do that, and they do it responsibly, and they don't wait for something to happen to them. So, for your products and services, what are some of the marquee products, basically offerings that you do? Is it that pen all related around the pen testing, or what?
No, not at all. Pen testing is really the foundation of how a company would look at US ProTech as a service provider.
Right.
But US ProTech has matured. Since 2007, we've identified the NIST, or the National Institute for Standards and Technology, as the framework for all cybersecurity practices.
Right.
If you look at NIST 800-53, you'd be then looking at the area of cybersecurity and secrecy.
Right.
So we have a product and a process that's validated by the United States Department of Commerce to exceed military grade standards.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
There are very few companies in the country that actually have gone through that validation process. And to have a product and a process that's validated, we could go to a customer and give them not only a real solid assessment of what their cybersecurity posture looks like, or what the risk is, both in a financial or numeric fashion of what needs to be corrected, but an attestation of competency which will be in line with their cyber insurance, so that their cyber insurance would be in full force and effect in the event of an incident. Because too often companies are buying the insurance, going to court after having.
It's all reactive. It's all reactive.
And then the insurance company's not there to support them, because they can say, well, you failed to accommodate item number 7 in the minimum essential standards.
Right.
So
it sounds like you got a great, robust, solution that basically it's as you put it, it's matured over time, and it's taken you a while to get here. First thing I want to say is, hats off to you for having such an organization that has come to such a level of maturity. But also, thanks for talking with me today.
Before we end the conversation, I'd like to say that US ProTech has evolved from being a service provider and a professional services provider to a software development company. It's these products that are making our company more and more unique. And if I was to say that on January 2nd, we are going to be launching our next software for cybersecurity services, is going to be a really interesting launch, in that we've already had an abundant number of companies express interest, even though it's still in beta. So if you're looking for an interesting solution for cybersecurity, look for Anomalous Software after January 2nd.
After January 2nd, 2018. Okay, thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay.